right.
Planting, they're planting.
Last operator standing.
Same time. Nice.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday. I know it's been a little while since I uploaded a video. I've been with family and stuff like that. But over the holiday, I got a couple requests to do a video about how I increase my aim and also how I warm up for ranked. So I'm just gonna go over like the top 5 things that you can do to improve your aim in game, and what I did when I transitioned from console to PC, and how I started improving my aim. So without further ado, let's get into the number 1 thing that I think is gonna improve your aim. Alright, so the number 1 thing that I think is going to improve your aim is lowering your DPI and your sensitivity. So coming from console to PC, I kind of adopted the high sensitivity mindset when I was on console. I think I played like 70-70 with 40 or 50 aim with an Elite controller on Xbox, and I kept that mindset when I came from console to PC. Because I just figured it would be easier using high sensitivity on PC with mouse and key, and I was extremely wrong. So the clip that you see in the background here, you're going to see me make some micro adjustments that I was really struggling with when I had really high sensitivity, and I went from 1200 DPI to 400 DPI, and it drastically improved my aim over the course of the last 4 or 5 months since I've done this. So what I recommend to anybody coming from console to PC that has kind of kept that high sensitivity mindset is start with a baseline of 400 and run terrorist hunts and figure out what your sensitivity is and just leave it at the lowest possible that you feel comfortable at. It's going to help you on micro adjustments, it's going to help you with crosshair placement, and it's going to help you with flicks. Which leads me to my next point, and that's crosshair placement and positioning yourself to hit headshots. In the clip you saw before, you can kind of see where my crosshairs were lined up, and in the clip that you're going to be watching right now, you're going to see that my crosshairs are almost always head level, and if I have to adjust down, that's where that lower DPI is really going to help you out. Crosshair placement is so huge in this game, and you're not going to be hitting headshots and winning gunfights in a quick manner until you start holding for headshots. In Rainbow Six Siege, if you're aiming for body shots, especially in higher MMR levels like Platinum and Diamond, you're going to start losing gunfights. I can't tell you how many times I've had my crosshair placement too low and I'm hitting body shots and I get my head snapped off by a diamond level player because my crosshair placement wasn't high enough. I had better reaction time, but their crosshair placement was correct, so they got the headshot while I'm sitting there hitting body shots.
Nice. He doesn't have the fuser. He's done. He doesn't.
Armor.
Nice.
Nice job.
You're nuts.
The next thing I recommend as far as improving your aim and also increasing consistency in-game is to just find that sensitivity and leave it. Stop adjusting it in-game. I had a huge issue with this. I'd feel like one day it was too high, the next day it was too low, and so I'd constantly go back and forth trying to figure out what my sensitivity was for that day. But when I just left it and I warmed up with the same sensitivity every single day, I found myself improving quite a bit overall over the course of the last couple of months. This game requires muscle memory just like any other athletic event does. Shooting a basketball, throwing a football, that all involves muscle memory, and when you're constantly switching that up on yourself, you're not doing yourself any favors. So the next step to improving your aim is warming up before you jump into ranked games. I spend like 30 minutes or so probably before I even jump into a ranked game, running through terrorist hunts, running through Kovac's aim trainer, and just practice on hitting headshots, mostly in terrorist hunt. You'll see here in a second. So the first thing I do, I'll grab my favorite rifle, which for me is the M7 with Zofia, and I'll just run through it. I'll try to click heads. I make sure I keep my crosshairs head level, as you'll see right here. And I also put my fire selection on single shot. That way I'm only doing 1 taps. And I'm just going to run through and click as many heads as fast as I can. I'm not worried about winning the terrorist hunt necessarily. This is just about warming up. I run on normal. Some people run on, I don't think it really matters because I'm not like I'm not trying to work on reaction speed at this point. I'm just working on crosshair placement and my first shot hit ratio for headshots. The next thing I'll run, as far as like my warm-ups are concerned in terrorist hunt, I really like to practice with the SMG-11. I think it's super important to practice with it just because the recoil is so tough. I'll run this a lot as well, just like practicing with my left hand, these quick peeks, just to make sure everything feels good on my left hand, crouching, quick peeking, and then also like this little shift movements, just sprinting in between movements. And then once I'm all warmed up on my left hand, it's just the exact same thing I was doing before, except with the SMG-11. All I'm trying to do is just run through and make sure my crosshair placement is perfect as soon as I line up like that. Even though that recoil control was terrible, I still get the headshot out of it because my crosshair placement is at headshot level. And I'll just run through the map, making sure I'm at headshot level, trying to control the SMG-11 recoil as much as possible. As soon as I feel good on this, I might run this a couple times over, and then it's on to the next step. The last thing I ever run for my warm-ups is just Kovac's Aim Trainer. I'll just hop in here really quick and run the Strafing Targets program, and just sit here and just make sure I'm staying on target, that all my tracking is as smooth as possible. This is pretty garbage, honestly. This is like first thing in the morning, so I'm just getting warmed up, but you guys kind of get the idea. It's $10 on Steam. It's super cheap, and honestly it's helped me out like quite a bit as far as like warming up, improving my aim. And for me especially, I've always had issues with tracking targets coming from console to PC, and this has helped quite a bit. Just stay on target. You know, players quick peek a lot and stuff in Siege, or you know, they're wide swinging out from corners. This really helps you stay on target. And also like track targets while you're hitting mouse 1. So very, very useful in my opinion. All right, this is the last topic, but it's definitely not least. This is something that I don't think enough people really talk about and address when we're talking about Rainbow Six Siege and like our aim and how things correlate into like mental alertness. But playing this game when you're tired or tilted, in my opinion, is a huge no-no. And again, this is something I really struggled with when I first started playing this game. It's almost like gambling. You keep playing games thinking like, oh man, like the next one will be better, the next one will be better, the next one will be better. But once you're already tired and you're already pissed off at what's been going on the last couple of games, like you're not learning anything at that point. And then every time you die, every time something bad happens, all you're gonna do is get upset, and you're not doing yourself any favors at that point anymore. So when you start to feel like this, just turn the game off or go run some terrorist hunts and chill and give it a try again tomorrow. I've started doing this, and as far as like ranked play goes, and my overall aim and ability in game has increased tremendously. So keep that in mind when you start getting too tired and you're getting frustrated. Just get off the game and try again tomorrow. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have any questions or concerns, anything like that, like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks, guys.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles,